all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
Are your medical expenses and insurance costs out of control? There's a way to pay less for the health care you need. RealMedSavings.com. It's a membership like a club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. Real Med Savings even connects you with a board-certified physician anytime, 24 hours a day. The doctor will consult with you, diagnose the condition, and when necessary, call in the prescription. You pay nothing for the doctor's consultation because you're a member. You save money because we've already negotiated discounts on dental, vision, prescription drugs, and much more. Just go to RealMedSavings.com and learn all about it. Real Med Savings is not insurance. You just save real money on your health care for you and your whole family. And it costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. No salesperson will call, and there is no long-term commitment. Convenient, money-saving health care. RealMedSavings.com.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. It is becoming, serious governmental misconduct. We are on the brink of seeing high crimes and misdemeanors in the Obama administration, and it came to us yesterday. There was an article. The Internal Revenue Service is being reported as finding 6,400 emails from Lois Lerner, who oversaw the tax agency's exempt organizations unit, but the government agency has no plans to share them with us. Get a load of this. Attorneys from the Department of Justice representing the IRS say the emails will not be shared because the service is making sure that none of them are duplicates. What a crock of incredible crap. They didn't release these emails to begin with because they said they were gone. How could there possibly be any duplicates? Duplicates of what? What you haven't released so far? Oops. Lerner is at the center of a scandal in which the agency denied special tax status to conservative groups in time for the 2012 presidential election. Her emails have been sought by members of Congress and conservative groups alike. This is governmental misconduct. These are high crimes and misdemeanors. It's one thing to say that we lost the emails. It's another thing to say that we're trying to find them, but we're having trouble. Then to have found them and not turn them over to we, the people of the United States, because you are, after all, our employees, and those emails are ours. To say somehow that they, need to be double-checked so that none of them are duplicates, all that means is you're going through every single one of them to remove anything that might be damaging. This is a stark abuse of power, both in its original inception and the cover-up. This makes Watergate look like nothing. Joining us is a guy that knows everything there is to know about the insides of the Department of Justice. He's the author of Injustice, exposing the racial agenda of the Obama Justice Department. He is the creator of electionlawcenter.com. He writes for PJ Media. He is a friend of the Wells Report. He is J. Christian Adams. Christian, welcome back to the Wells Report. Good to have you here.
Good evening, Jon-David.
I am infuriated by this.
Yeah, you know, I would suspect that the people who requested the information don't care about duplicates. They would probably take triplicates if you gave them the choice of turning things over immediately.
Well, this is gobbledygooky and foolishness. The DOJ has no interest or need whatsoever to go through these except to find out whether or not there's a smoking gun. And if there isn't indeed a smoking gun, to somehow disappear that particular email so that they don't have to deal with it in Congress or anyplace else. I find the whole thing reprehensible.
Don't forget, when Obama campaigned for the presidency, he promised to have the most transparent administration in history. And this is another example of anything but the most transparent administration in history. Look, they love to litigate FOIA. They spend more money in this administration in court fighting freedom of information, and then they harp and complain that they don't have a big enough budget at the Justice Department. Well, maybe if they spend less time in court litigating, trying to conceal public information, and more time turning it over, they would have more money and they wouldn't have to go to Congress asking for more taxpayer dollars to run the DOJ.
J. Christian Adams, our guest, author of Injustice, Exposing the Racial Agenda of the Obama Justice Department. Christian, so what we have here is there is no doubt about the fact, at least from a standpoint of circumstantial evidence, what we are able to discern, that there are indeed, this is indeed government misconduct using the IRS as a tool to punish political enemies. It is the nightmare scenario of those of us who believe in robust debate and allowing the American people to choose. If indeed there is a smoking gun in this batch of emails or in another batch of emails, which is surely forthcoming, what are we going to see out of this? I mean, where does this end up? I mean, is Lois Lerner or the Obama administration actually going to have to face accountability for this?
Well, how do you get accountability, Jon-David? Because Lois Lerner arguably committed a felony. Lois Lerner was found in criminal contempt of Congress, and the statute, the law says that the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia shall make a referral to the grand jury. But that hasn't happened. What do you do when the people who enforce the law are habitual lawbreakers? That's the situation we have now in this country with the Obama administration, exactly the opposite of what he promised the country. And really, the Constitution has very few answers. One of them, of course, is the power of the purse, where you can defund specific things. But anytime somebody like Louis Gohmert or other House Republicans try to use that, or Ted Cruz, you have House leadership and Senate leadership in the Republican Party blocking their efforts to punish the administration for lawlessness.
Well, how in heaven's name, first of all, is that tolerated, and to what end? I mean, I have to figure out, I know you're not a political analyst, but why in heaven's name does the Republican Party have any kind of reason to not run this to earth at its first opportunity?
Well, because Washington is not Dallas. And when you get inside the Beltway, people in leadership start to care about what the New York Times says, what the Washington Post editorial page says. They're scared to death of government shutdowns. They're living 20 years in the past. They don't think talk radio exists. They don't think internet, new media exists. They're stuck in this old model when they came up through the party that if they get criticized, they lose. And so you have people like your senator from Texas or other Republicans from Texas who are willing to fight, but then you have leadership that punishes them when they try to.
It's unbelievable. By the way, more of that happened today with Steve Scalise blowing off some of the members of his whip team for not going with Obama trade. By the way, we're speaking with J. Christian Adams, the creator of electionlawcenter.com on 660 AM The Answer. Um, so, so as we go through all of this, basically what we're saying is the Department of Justice and the Obama administration are cooperating in a corrupt fashion to ignore the law, and that reaches all the way down to the U.S. Attorney's Office of the District of Columbia.
Yeah, and if the shoe was on the other foot, if this was 1987 and a Republican administration was doing this, you would have had Ted Kennedy and Tip O'Neill and all the assassins in the Democrat Party tearing the Republicans to shreds. It would have been fish in a barrel. They know how to wipe out an opponent who's broken the law. But these Republicans today don't seem very comfortable with taking lawlessness by an administration and tearing it to pieces, both in the public, both in court, both in the press, but also in the halls of Congress where they have total power. And it's just inexplicable their unwillingness to fight on these issues.
So the D.C. U.S. Attorney is compelled by law to present this to the grand jury. And what are they doing? Are they saying they don't have the evidence because we can't get the emails? Is that what they're saying? Is that why they don't proceed?
They're adopting a legal posture, a legal argument that I don't believe has a basis in law that says Lois Lerner successfully invoked the Fifth Amendment when she gave a long statement declaring her innocence and then refused to answer questions. That isn't how the Fifth Amendment works. The Fifth Amendment says that if you don't want to testify against yourself, shut up.
Right.
Don't say a word.
Yeah, you
doesn't say you can say you're innocent and then shut up.
Yeah, you just declare that you are invoking your Fifth Amendment right, and that's all you can do. And Trey Gowdy jumped all over that. I remember watching it live when it happened. He says, "No, wait a second here. She doesn't get to testify and then declare her Fifth Amendment right. She gave up that right. Why didn't that go anywhere?"
Yeah, and every day the Justice Department brings hundreds of cases where defendants in some form or fashion have a plausible Fifth Amendment claim where, maybe they asked for a lawyer, maybe they asked for a lawyer late. Who knows? The Justice Department still pursues that case. They don't say just because a criminal invoked the Fifth Amendment, we're not going to pursue it. It never happens unless, of course, it's Lois Lerner protecting IRS targeting of Tea Party conservatives in the 2012 election.
I just find that to be so incredibly anti-American and so terrible that it I guess incredulousness is a barrier to action. Is that really where we are here?
You raise an interesting point. I've written about this a number of times at PJ Media, where for many years the initial Republican response to Obama's outrageous lawlessness was shock or disbelief or an effort to sort of find a more reasonable explanation for his behavior. And it took years for people in some instances to come around to understand what was really happening. That this is a man who doesn't respect the law. He is schooled in the art of power politics, Alinsky-style tactics, and general lawlessness, far left-wing lawlessness. That's who this president is. We've seen it over and over again, starting with Chrysler secured bondholders in 2009, the new Black Panther dismissal, which I worked on, and on and on and on. It's been a story of constant lawlessness and then having Harvard Law School graduate lawyers explain and defend the lawlessness.
He is the creator of electionlawcenter.com, J. Christian Adams, former DOJ lawyer. So there must be some kind of a remedy. Is there not some way to file a lawsuit in federal court? I realize it would take years and years to do it, but at some point, somebody's going to have to do something to stop the fact that the government of the United States, the actual executive branch of the United States, used the incredible power of the IRS to squash political dissent in the United States of America.
Well, the remedy is found right now in the First Amendment. And it works this way. There's a lot of good folks doing a lot of good litigation, crawling and grabbing and just fighting to get this information. and eventually it will come out. Eventually we'll be able to know the facts about what happened. It might take a long time. They might dilute its sting because of their delaying tactics, but we will learn at some point the extent of the lawlessness of this administration. And the remedy, unfortunately, Jon-David, it might not be what people want to hear, but it's to not elect a gangster like this again.
That's exactly right.
That's just what we can't do again.
Yeah, and I don't know that anybody is going to be able to successfully discern the gangster wing of the Democrat Party from the reasoned wing of the Democrat Party. I don't know that there's any reasoned wing of the Democrat Party left. As far as I know, that entire party has followed this man into the abyss.
Yeah, and 20 years ago, it was a totally different Democrat Party. I mean, 20 years ago, it was Bill Clinton cutting capital gains taxes, welfare reform, tough on crime, Southern Democrat who loved America. You might disagree with Bill Clinton, but there was no doubt in my mind that he came from Southern culture. He was raised as a Southern Baptist, a Democrat. He came from our world. He came from a worldview that respected American tradition. I disagreed with Bill Clinton on a lot of issues. I think he did terrible things in the Oval Office, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
But he was a president that I think any of us would gladly take right now over this person.
If you do not read J. Christian Adams, you need to start. You can find him at pjmedia.com or electionlawcenter.com. He's a true American patriot and joins us on the Wells Report just about any time we ask him. J. Christian, thank you so much for joining us. It's a privilege to have you here, sir.
Take care, Jon-David. Good night, Dallas.
God bless. God bless. J. Christian Adams, former DOJ attorney, fighting the good fight. And so the IRS finds 6,400 Lois Lerner emails but won't turn them over. What do we do next? I have some ideas. You'll hear them next on the Wells Report.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face-to-face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors List is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
Good Contractors List.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Today, let's talk about the $29 service call gimmick. Here in North Texas, an experienced service tech costs at least $35 an hour to employ. So how does a $29 service call work? Well, it doesn't unless they find a bunch of stuff wrong with your system. It's just bait to get you to call. We can't come out for $29, and really, neither can they. In this business, you get what you pay for. Reliant Air Conditioning service call is $79, and our guys are all drug tested, background checked, and they don't work on commission. So if you need service on your AC system, call the company that's been gimmick-free since '83. Or if your system needs to be replaced, you can save up to $3,500 per system with Carrier's Cool Cash promotion. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Governor Abbott took an oath to uphold the Texas Constitution and its marriage amendment. In this state, marriage shall consist only of the union between one man and one woman. 76% of Texans voted for this amendment. But Governor Abbott and the Republican leadership caved into the homosexual political movement and its cheerleader, the Texas Association of Business, and failed to pass legislation to preserve state sovereignty and the marriage amendment. Tell Governor Abbott to defend the Texas marriage amendment with a special session at 512-463-2000. Homosexual marriage is really a mirage because it's a counterfeit and a lie. God-ordained marriage. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Texas must oppose a lawless Supreme Court ruling on marriage. Call and tell Governor Abbott to defend the Texas marriage amendment with a special session at 512-463-2000. That's 512-463-2000.
Legislative ad paid for by Conservative Republicans of Texas PAC. Bart Stanley, Treasurer. Visit crtpac.com.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than a year, you've heard me talk about our incredible investments backed by hard assets. Listen closely. For a very limited time, we have a short-term investment which pays a flat 9% return for a very short-term commitment. $100,000 at 9% return will earn you $9,000. That's right, a 9% return for a short-term investment. It would take you 12 years to earn that much with a CD, and your money is backed dollar for dollar. In my 35 years of financial planning, I've rarely seen a better opportunity for security-minded people. Many of you have money sitting in banks and insurance companies. That money is going nowhere fast. Others of you are concerned about the volatility of the stock market or a long-term commitment. You can change all that. Great returns and peace of mind for a short-term commitment. Don't be left out. Now is the time to call me at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444.
660 AM, The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. What do we do about 6,400 lowest learner emails? Well, what we do is we demand that they be released. Judicial Watch has been seeking the emails as part of a Freedom of Information Act request filed 2 years ago. Originally, the IRS said the email trail was permanently lost because of a computer drive that it contended crashed and was destroyed. The Treasury Department's Inspector General for Tax Administration, or TIGTA, was able to retrieve 6,400 emails, which it subsequently sent to the agency. It is these emails the IRS wants to check for duplicates. They're not checking for duplicates. They are checking for smoking guns. Tom Fitton said he, by the way, is the president of Judicial Watch, has said the Inspector General's office has already checked for copies. Even though TIGTA already identified and removed emails that were duplicates, the IRS is in the process of conducting further manual duplication or deduplication of the 6,400 emails, rather than reviewing them in response to Judicial Watch's FOIA requests that are more than 2 years old now. Our legal team will continue pursuing all necessary and available legal decisions to hold the IRS accountable for its flagrant abuse of power. Have you got $20? Have you got $50? You got $100? No more than that. Send it to Judicial Watch. In the memo section of the check, put in IRS FOIA. IRS FOIA. The other solution is a little bit more esoteric. It has to do with you and you. If you're over 18 years of age and a voter in this nation, and I don't care what your personal circumstances are, I don't care about your politics, I want you to sit down with the Declaration of Independence and read it. I want you to sit down with the Constitution of the United States and read it. I want you to look at the United States from its inception until 1969 when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. Then I want you to look at the United States since then. And I want you to tell me whether or not you see progress or you see deterioration. And if you do all of those things, I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself whether or not America is worth fighting for. And if it is indeed worth fighting for, then you need to stop electing politicians that are trying to destroy it. It's easy to find the ones that are trying to destroy it now. They've got D's after their name. If we don't do this, these people are going to still try to pull this off into the future. We can't afford it now. Time to focus. Time to focus. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here. You know, some things in life are just too serious to take chances on, and owing money to the IRS is definitely one of those. The IRS has the power to garnish your paycheck. They can levy your bank account, even take your home or business. Seriously. Thankfully, with one simple call, you can start solving your tax debt once and for all. Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm in the nation. They have over 250 professionals. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and the trust of thousands of satisfied clients. Optima's attorneys can immediately protect you from aggressive collections because they are experts in the Fresh Start Initiative. That's a special IRS debt forgiveness program that could save you thousands. Don't wait till it's too late. Get serious. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, owner of Statewide Remodeling. You know, we've been getting some relief from what is usually the beginning of summer here in Texas. And right behind that, the temperature goes up, and so do your cooling bills. We manufacture our windows to beat the Texas heat. Our fiber core reinforced frames are 9 times stronger than other windows, and our glass has 27% more viewing area. We give you better than triple pane performance at a double pane price. Another thing that separates our window from all competitors is we can match our exterior frame to any color Sherwin-Williams offers. So no plain white windows here or 3 to 4 colors to choose from. And of course, we offer the longest warranty in the industry. It even covers glass breakage and workmanship for as long as you own your home. So if you're ready to see the window that sets the standard in Texas, give us a call. And if you decide it's the one for you, receive 20% off the complete job. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095. Or check us out online 24/7 at statewideremodeling.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-500-0983. That's 1-800-500-0983. 1-800-500-0983.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Is there a snoring issue in your house? Are you on the receiving or the delivering end of that? Well, either way, some folks just aren't sleeping right. And some folks face a real health risk from sleep apnea. This was me. A lot of our health depends on the kind of night sleep we get. So if you got the snoring issue and sleep apnea is the issue, there's the CPAP device, which just doesn't work for some folks. There's surgery, which is, well, surgery. And then there's simplesleepservices.com. Check them out, simplesleepservices.com. John Truitt and the gang with a magnificent oral appliance. I've got it. It works. It's not the mask. It's not surgery. It's awesome. I love it. You'll love them. And they're in Dallas and Fort Worth. So check them out at either location. Check them out online at simplesleepservices.com. Great people to work with. Stop dreaming about a snoring solution and a good night's sleep. If you don't want surgery and the CPAP thing just isn't working, 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700, simplesleepservices.com.
We gave Tom 12 seconds to give 6 reasons why he opened a Mathnasium Learning Center franchise.
Okay. Great income potential. Doing good for kids. Doing what I love. Making math make sense to kids. 500 centers open already. 1 every 3 days. Mathnasium taught me the business. Helps me. Supports me.
Time's up. Pretty good. For franchise information, visit mathnasium.com or take the first step right now. Call 855-361-MATH. That's 855-361-6284.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. That's, let me try that one more time in English. You're listening to the Wells Report. See, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. By the way, Tropical Storm Bill bearing down on us. He'll show up when you wake up, and we're keeping our eyes on it all day. And Mark Davis will, too, tomorrow morning. In fact, he's here right now to tell you what else he's going to be talking about.
Hey, JD, good Tuesday evening. Want everybody to know tomorrow morning as we convene 7 to 10 a.m., first thing we're going to do is make sure that everybody's taken care of in terms of weather information. We will guide you through a rainy Wednesday morning. Now, in this year of changing identities, I think I'm going to move forward as an Eskimo bricklayer in the Aleutian Islands.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. I'll remain your talk show buddy, ready to roll in reaction to the Trump announcement. Don't laugh. Yes, it's a sideshow, but its ripples could affect the race. This and other overnight news ready to go tomorrow morning, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Thank you very much, Mark. I will look forward to hearing you, as I always do, tomorrow on 660 a.m. The Answer. Last week, it was announced that in March of this year, there was a huge data breach, a cyber attack on the United States government. It affected the Office of Personnel Management, which is the HR department of the United States government. They said that there were 4 million people that were affected. And I immediately said to myself, no way. Not that that was too big a number, but it was far too small a number. And I immediately told everybody I knew in radio that this was a huge story. It was going to get bigger. It is a huge story. It did get bigger. We found out that not only was it 4 million people in the Office of Personnel Management, it was every government employee, every person's records, every application for a security clearance with the appropriate forms necessary to make a decision about those people. And when you start thinking about how many people you know that are in government service that have a security clearance, that means that just about everyone you know is now known by what the American government says is the Chinese government. There is a very simple remedy for all of this. What you do is you send a bill to the People's Republic of China government for $1 trillion for hacking America's databases. And if they don't pay it, then you start taking $1 trillion worth of property from them. They need us more than we need them. And then what you demand is you demand that we see the deletion of all that data, every single particle of it from your databases. And you prove it to us that you've actually done it. Or you can kiss all the money that you've got invested in the United States of America goodbye. And if you've got a problem with it, you can take it up at the World Court at The Hague. And if they find against the United States of America, well, tough crap. We've been trying to get you to quit manipulating your currency for years. Yes, it will cause the ruination of your country economically. We know all that. But the simple case of the matter is that you're not going to add insult to injury. And I got to be perfectly honest with you. If they still do not comply with the requests and demands of the United States of America, I say what we do is we take out that big shiny aircraft carrier they've got. We turn it into an artificial reef. And then taking a page out of Putin's playbook, what we'll do is we'll say, we have no idea what you're talking about. You go out there and you put, I don't even know what the name of the ship is, but it's one of Russia's old aircraft carriers. What you do is you put 3 Mark 48 ADCAP torpedoes into the side of that thing. We don't have any idea what you're talking about. You know, it could be all kinds of people. We don't have any idea who actually sank your aircraft carrier. Well, Jon-David, that would be an undeclared war at sea. Sure, okay. By all means. Let's see what they're able to do about getting close to an American battle group. And suddenly all these Chinese submarines will start disappearing too. Boy, that seems awfully hawk-like of you, JD. You're talking about World War III. No, I think World War III happened last week when we finally found out that the Chinese government was willing to break into our computer systems. In fact, Glenn Harlan Reynolds believes the same thing. He's written an article in USA Today. It says, what if Pearl Harbor happened and nobody noticed? Last week, while people were going on about the white woman who posed as a black woman to get an NAACP job, Hillary Clinton's latest campaign relaunch, President Obama's trade bill debacle in the House, a much bigger story slipped by with a lot less hoopla. The successful seizure of a vast trove of federal personnel records reportedly by the Chinese. And then it got worse. Hackers linked to China have gained access to the sensitive background information submitted by intelligence and military personnel for security clearances. This, according to U.S. officials last Friday, describing a cyber breach of federal records dramatically worse than first acknowledged. Aside from regular federal personnel records, which provide a royal route to blackmail, intimidation, identity theft for present and retired future federal workers, the hackers also stole a trove of military and intelligence records that could be even more valuable. The forms stolen were standard Form 86, in which employees in sensitive positions list their weaknesses, past arrests, bankruptcies, drug and alcohol problems. The 120-plus pages of questions also include civil lawsuits, divorce information, social security numbers, information on friends, roommates, spouses, and relatives. Current and former federal employees are in a state of collective panic over the loss of their information. Former State Department employee Matthew Palmer was quoted as saying, "Who's in danger? I listed friends on those forms and my family members. Are some hackers going to start going after them? Probably. All I got to tell you is if the tree of contacts from these Form 86 folks If this tree goes out and suddenly people start having these strange and mysterious car accidents, we got a massive problem here. What if China sells that information to ISIS? What if ISIS already has it? The U.S. military, even in its current somewhat shrunken state, remains an irresistible force in conventional warfare. This trove of information is perfect for fourth-generation warfare, in which conventional strengths are bypassed in favor of targeted attacks on a stronger nation's weaknesses. With this sort of information, China will find it much easier to recruit agents, blackmail decision-makers, and in the event of straight-up conflict, strike directly at America in the government without launching a single missile. That's why experts are calling the security breach a debacle and potentially devastating. Some are calling it a cyber Pearl Harbor. He's not kidding. And more importantly, he's not wrong. What do? The federal government is offering free identity theft protection. That's great. Yeah, you've got identity theft protection. Now, the bad news is you need to sell your house and move someplace else. Have you ever tried to place 21 million people into the witness protection program? Yeah, free identity protection is sort of like putting a Band-Aid on a severed limb. It's so pathetic, it's not even cosmetic. This isn't like a broken code where we can just change things around. Our enemies have these people's addresses. They've got their social security numbers. They've got the keys to the kingdom. So in a startling bit of reality, Glenn Harlan Reynolds then says the United States is highly vulnerable to cyber war. You think? And we're not very good about defending against it. Uh-huh. Kevin Henson was on the Wells Report last week. He is a computer god. He's so good at it, he's actually teaching kids how to do it. Because America is lousy at cyber war. And that's exactly why he's doing it. He tells stories of people in the reserves who do this as just a matter of course. It's part of their job. They're in the National Guards in various states, but their regular job is cybersecurity at their companies. They run the U.S. government cybersecurity warfare office into spastic fits of nervous collapse every time they show up for an opposition force engagement with them, Op 4. The people who work for the United States government in cyber warfare simply are not up to the job. For the federal government, one lesson is that the important stuff shouldn't be put online at all. Paper documents do have their problems, but it's really, really hard to steal them unless you actually physically penetrate some facility and carry them out in your socks. You remember Sandy Berger? For the rest of us, the lesson is we should probably think twice before entrusting the federal government with our information. How do you do that? Every time you turn around, the federal government is demanding more of your information, which, in what is becoming too well documented and too often, they are incompetent at handling. See, everybody's worried about all this data that the federal government is grabbing from us. This NSA bulk collection of metadata and telephone records and telephone conversations and so on and so on. You know, it's not the NSA I'm worried about. It's the people that have hacked the NSA that I'm worried about. It's our national enemies getting a hold of all that information. If what we've seen in the Obama administration is any example whatsoever, all I can tell you is that the government would be so busy thinking about the political implications of doing anything with the data that they've stolen from us over the dead Fourth Amendment's body, that by the time they figure out what to do with it so that they can get the best political advantage over it or from it, whatever issue that might have been usable against us will have long since gone. But people who are our enemies, will just simply take different, probably more deadly action. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 855-875-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fixed at 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket. But you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 855-875-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH.
In national financial news, a limited number of 2015 U.S. Silver Eagle dollars are now available at an introductory price too low to reveal on the radio. In a moment, we'll provide the toll-free number to call. The Silver Eagle is the largest and purest U.S. silver dollar ever struck. 1 ounce of pure silver, and is the only silver coin guaranteed by the U.S. government for its weight and purity. Over the years, the Silver Eagle has been one of the world's most popular and widely collected silver coins. From time to time, the U.S. Mint has even suspended production during periods of exceptionally high demand. Demand for the 2015 Silver Eagle is expected to be intense, especially at this shockingly low introductory price, forcing a strict limit of just 10 per household. To claim a share of these Silver Eagles and receive a free collector's guide, interested individuals are encouraged to call now. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP, and right now you can try it risk-free for 21 days by calling 1-800-528-5588. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 21-day in-home trial. 1-800-528-5588. That's 1-800-528-5588.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew
it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't gonna be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-454-8621.
U.S. Tax Shield. Hoorah. Yes.
800-454-8621. 800-454-8621.
Your local pharmacist is also a Health Mart pharmacist, and they're not like other pharmacists.
After Mom's surgery, I was overwhelmed, but I was so relieved. Her Health Mart pharmacist was there to help. They explained her medication and even delivered to her house. Mom got the personal service she needed, and I got something even better. Peace of mind.
Visit healthmart.com to find a locally owned Health Mart pharmacy near you. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
At Kubota, value means getting more than you expected for less than you thought. Like the L2501 DT compact tractor. Now with financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years and factory rebates, you can do more for less. That's value. That's Kubota. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 60 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation USA. Subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The FBI is now investigating in allegations that officials in the St. Louis Cardinals front office illegally hacked into a computer database belonging to the Houston Astros. This is according to a federal law enforcement source. The source could not elaborate further on the investigation, which was first reported by the New York Times. The Times cited law enforcement and reported that investigators uncovered evidence that officials from the Cardinals broke into the network that included information about players and personnel. Maybe they should change their name from the St. Louis Cardinals to the St. Louis Chinese. Yeah. The question is, why would they hack the Houston Astros? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's an American League club, and thing number two is because the St. Louis Cardinals have too good of a one-loss record.
Astros are in first place, too.
The Astros are in first place? There's got to be a mistake.
I will punch your mouth out.
That's got to be a mistake. That's probably just bogus data that was dumped into the system by the St. Louis Cardinals. What they're trying to do is they're trying to give Astros fans a false sense of security. Can you imagine the St. Louis Cardinals being carted off to jail? Wow. The Bird Sox scandal. This is the Wells Report.
There's nothing like foundations in the springtime. Oh, it's a time of change. Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. And with drought and then moisture and then cold and then warm temperatures, your foundations are moving and grooving. You got cracks in the sheetrock and doors that are sticking and all kinds of problems. You want someone who's going to solve them reliably. Call my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. They've done stuff for me, and you will love how they put somebody on site for your entire foundation repair. They're the only people with Millennium composite pilings. You're going to get a warranty that you can hand down to other homeowners. It's peace of mind and security for your foundation repair. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com. Don't be one of those homeowners that says, oh, I wish I'd called a better company. Call the best company right now. Abacus Foundation Repair. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, ABACUS, abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than a year, you've heard me talk about our incredible investments backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. Well, listen closely. For a very limited time, we have a short-term investment which pays a flat 9% return for a very short-term commitment. $100,000 at 9% return will earn you $9,000. That's right, a 9% return for a short-term investment. It would take you 12 years to earn that much with a CD, and your money is backed dollar for dollar. In my 35 years of financial planning, I've rarely seen a better opportunity for security-minded people. Many of you have money sitting in banks and insurance companies. That money is going nowhere fast. Others of you are concerned about the volatility of the stock market or a long-term commitment. You can change all that. Great returns and peace of mind for a short-term commitment. Don't be left out. Now is the time to call me at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444.
Geico Motorcycle presents Reflections from the Road. The day I knew I was a real biker was when I switched to Geico Motorcycle Insurance. Because real bikers, well, they know where the savings are. And you know what else makes you a real biker? A sweet tattoo. Check mine out. Just got it yesterday. It says Heel on Wheels. Wait, Heel on Wheels? Oh, man. Well, at least I got the saving money with Geico part, right?
Geico Motorcycle Insurance. See how much you could save. This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The investigation continues into last night's collapse of a balcony that killed 6 people and seriously injured 7 at a party in Berkeley, California.
Berkeley spokesman Mathai Chaco says city inspectors have responded.
They inspected all units that had similar balconies. There were 3 other units that had similar balconies, and they have red tagged those.
They and the property owner are doing separate structural evaluations.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. One official says it's possible the balcony was just too small to hold the 13 people when it collapsed. It could be far worse than stealing signs. The FBI is looking into whether the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team hacked the Houston Astros database.
Reports cite law enforcement officials who aren't saying which employees were the focus of the investigation or whether the team's highest-ranking officials were aware of the alleged hacking or authorized it.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso. The Cardinals say they are cooperating in the investigation. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Dennis Prager can simplify the struggle in the Middle East.
One side wants the other side dead, and that's the issue. That's the whole issue in the Middle East. It's been the issue since 1948. The Arab side, the Muslim side wants the Jewish state annihilated. The Iranians state it, and so do many in the Arab world.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I can tell you all day how great the new Venture on Wall Street seminars are, and oh, I will. But let me let Caleb and Lonell share their story. They wrote to Pastor David Mitchell and said, "We're so glad we went to the new Venture on Wall Street seminars. I was able to be successful enough to enable my wife to fire her boss because that was one goal we had. We wanted to be more self-sufficient. They did a month of trading, made about $9 grand. This is something that'll happen. Things will go up, things will go down, but they are smarter on Wall Street. They're having a better time. They're going to retire earlier. They're getting a second income stream, and this is the kind of thing that can happen to you. I love these folks at New Venture on Wall Street. It is upbeat, it's exciting, and they're in Addison and Fort Worth, June 19th and 20th. Get into these seminars today at 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. Learn more at nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. It's a great, great plan to get into a seminar and learn how to do better in your financial future. 877-907-TRADE. nvows.com. 877-907-TRADE.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you.
The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically less on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-2629. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-2629. 1-800-700-2629.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When our daughter Emma was born, we took a look at our credit card debt. It was not a good situation. We had been running up balances for quite some time, and it became a crisis. Finally, my wife Vicki said, call Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
We called them, they contacted all of our creditors, they stopped the collections calls, they got the interest reduced, and they put us on a plan for success.
Trinity will consolidate your bills, stop collections calls, wipe out late fees, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
We are now completely debt-free, and we will never be in the spot we were again, thanks to Trinity.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is John.
I'm Vicki.
And I'm Emma.
And we're debt-free for keeps.
That's 1-800-990-6976.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-500-0983. That's 1-800-500-0983. 1-800-500-0983.
Our sister station,
94.9 KLTY and Interstate Batteries present Celebrate Freedom 25. Nothing brings home the memories like the official Celebrate Freedom 25 t-shirt. Just go to CelebrateFreedom.com and find the perfect package for your family. Get the sticker, the VIP seating pass, the poster, and more.
Sponsored by Cornerstone Staffing.
It's your day. It's your fun. It's your Celebrate Freedom 25. CelebrateFreedom.com.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. And so, the current toast of the ridiculous, absurdist, dumb, idiotic leftist media is a gal named Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal is a curious young woman who, for whatever reason, has decided that she's black, even though she isn't. The American left, in trying to figure out some way of dealing with Rachel Dolezal, have essentially found themselves in an almost impossible position, naturally, of their own making. What is it? Well, it has to do with two people who decided that they were other people. For example, Bruce Jenner decides that he is no longer male. And so what he's done is he's taken part of the steps to surgically alter himself into a female and has decided to pursue that, at least publicly. And he's decided to pursue that, at least from a public standpoint, as Caitlyn Jenner, and off she goes as a completely different human being. Strangely enough, General Mills, the people who make Wheaties, brilliantly categorize this by saying, Bruce Jenner is a part of our family. We don't know anything about Caitlyn Jenner. Brilliant. So even though he's male, physically, genetically, and always will be, Caitlyn Jenner now moves forward, being celebrated by this loony leftist crazy nutcake media. And all was well until Rachel Dolezal says, I'm black. Outed by her parents as definitely not black. The left now finds itself in a position where, well, they've justified men going into girls' locker rooms and vice versa because they identify as female or male, depending on, I don't know, how the wind hits them in their particular day or a particular time of day. They've said that that's perfectly okay, and that anybody that doesn't believe that needs to get their butt kicked. They're just idiots. People that don't understand that are just nuts. Okay. And guess what they're saying about Rachel Dolezal? Whoopi Goldberg and Raven Simone spoke out about Rachel Dolezal, the embattled NAACP chapter head. Actually, she quit. This happened on The View yesterday, saying they think that she has the right to identify as she feels fit. If she wants to be black, she can be black, said Goldberg. Look, just like people say, I feel like a man, I feel like a woman, I feel this. She wants to be a black woman, fine. Everything that comes with it, that she's prepared for, okay. Dolezal's been at the heart of a national controversy about her parents after her parents came forward last week saying she's lying about being African American. Raven Simone noted that everybody has some type of African blood inside them. And what makes a black person just your skin? Rosie Perez showed both support and skepticism for Dolezal, remarking on the potential effects of her dishonesty. Another part that people had a problem with is that also she's been speaking to a lot of black youths and telling them, I know how you feel. I've been through blah, blah, blah. She doesn't know. You can't know. She definitely owned it. She's passing this woman. She's been passing as this woman for over 5 years. And the obligatory reference of Dolezal being a witch with a capital B. And if this witch with a capital B don't know by now what it's like to be black, she's never going to know. Raven Simone, who joined The View just last week, said, black women straighten their hair every day. Black women do it all the time. White women can't do the same thing. Okay. Camille Gear-Rich is professor of law and sociology at USC and the Gould School of Law. She says this in the pages of CNN. When it comes to identity, America takes one step forward and 2 steps back. On Monday, Rachel Dolezal, the head of the Spokane chapter of the NAACP, resigned in shame because she posed as a black woman even though she's biologically white. The outing of Dolezal seems ironic, given the recent public embrace of Caitlyn Jenner, the transgender woman formerly known as Bruce Jenner. Jenner seems to have ushered in an era of greater tolerance about the constructed nature of identity. After all, when a transgender woman is elevated to the cover of Vanity Fair, it's though we've reached a tipping point. We can accept the idea that one's social identity can be radically transformed if it doesn't match with what one feels at heart. Really? The stark difference in Dozel's treatment forces us to ask, what's the difference between claiming gender identity versus a racial identity? Why is it that we celebrate Bruce Jenner's gender change and frown upon Rachel Dolezal's racial change? Some of us don't celebrate or frown upon. What we do is we look and roll our eyes at the ridiculous foolishness of it. So I have a simple question. Here it comes. Is race a matter of choice? Yes or no? And why? Is race a matter of choice? Yes or no? And why? Eight 660-5759. That's another way of speaking to the left in a way that they can't answer. You see, they can't answer that question. Is race a matter of choice or not? Yes or no? Why do you feel that way? Since feel is about just about anything, is the be-all, end-all. Lane in Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report. How you doing?
JD, thank you for taking my call. Always a pleasure to talk with you. Sure. I have, since talking about this on the show, I realize now that I have become the Jon-David Wells sarcastic epiphany for the evening.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Lane brings us the Jon-David Wells sarcastic epiphany.
I feel Rachel's pain because, as I told your screener, I, like her, I was born a poor black child, and I grew up to be a white man in debt. And I feel her pain. Of course, I am being very facetious about this.
Well, it's a sarcastic epiphany.
Thank you. I'm surprised that she was able to compel these people for 5 or 6 years, because I've seen her picture and she didn't look black. She looked like I've seen the Chappelle show where he's done where he's made up in white makeup and other picture, and she looked kind of off.
God, I wish Dave Chappelle was sitting right over there right this minute. Don't you? Can you imagine what Chappelle would say about this? 866-660-5759. Is race a matter of choice or not? 866-660-5759. Should we all just choose to be black? I mean, let's start thinking about this. You've really got, if you want to maximize the opportunity that you're going to get by changing your racial background, I would say that you've got 2.5 choices. Okay. Choice number 1, you can choose to be black now and go ahead and just essentially claim all the trappings of black life. All right. You can do that. You can claim that you are a Native American. This is an option that I believe that most people in Washington State and Colorado will choose, because then they can also have peyote for free. Further, if you can actually pull off self-identifying as a Native American, the Bureau of Land Management will give you some evil white guy's ranch land. Did I say that out loud? Did you hit the dump button? No? Okay. Oh, this will be good. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Doug in Keller, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hey, Jon-David, how you doing? Yeah, listening to all this stuff just drives you crazy. It really does. You know, after a while, you start feeling ooze coming out of your ears as your IQ plummets.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. You know, it's a matter of genetics. It's, you know, if a person believed it was. Next thing you're going to see, though, you're going to see trans species.
Strand species.
Individual-
You
yeah,
know,
trans species.
I've always identified as a golden retriever.
You're going to have your nose painted black, hair placed on your ears.
That's what I'm thinking. That's
you
what
know,
I'm
and
thinking.
then you're going to have to be walked at work.
Sure.
To defecate on the lawn.
Yeah. I mean, you can defecate on the lawn. You can raise your leg on trees.
That's right.
Think about this. You can be doing your talk show and all squirrel.
And the thing is, as funny as that is, people are so focused on what's important is reality is not important. It's how you feel about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just absolutely insane. I mean, how do you define insanity now?
Well, you define insanity by watching The View. Yeah. Rachel Dolezal has a right to be black. Okay, so being black means nothing. Is that right? It's a choice, right? It's a choice. Of course, you can't say, no, it's not a choice, because if you say it's a choice, then what about homosexuality? If you feel gay, (866-660-5759), 866-660-5759. So anybody can be black, right? So that means it's nothing, right? So essentially what the left has finally done is they have short-circuited African American life in the United States. Shall we move forward with that or what? This is the Wells Report. Save this day, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th at 6:30 could be the day and time that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investments. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service. They know you've worked hard for your money. Getting the information you need to help you choose how to invest it is the next step. To reserve your spot for this free seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas, call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or register by logging on to investingmakesmesick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Hot-Finds has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you. Hot-Finds has it. Service, selection, savings, and more. Feel the excitement when you walk through our door. Hot-Finds has it. Hot-Finds has it.
Hot-Find Chevrolet's Vehicle Upgrade Month has been extended throughout the entire month of June, which means you can get in a new Hot-Find Chevy car, truck, or SUV for perhaps a lower monthly payment than you're presently paying. This could mean newer technology, reduced maintenance and repair cost, a longer and more comprehensive warranty, increased safety, and better gas mileage and finance terms. For more, click to HotFinds.net or find new roads to Hot-Find Chevrolet in Louisville or Ray Hot-Find Chevrolet in Plano.
If you're thinking about new windows for your home, here's what you have to consider. A quality-minded company that's been in business for a long time that'll be here if you need them in the future. That offers several options for you to choose from with a good warranty and a fair price. Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, owner of Statewide Remodeling, and I'm happy to say my company meets all those requirements. We've been installing new windows in Texas homes for over 21 years. Our restoration windows with their fiber core frames are 8 times stronger than hollow core vinyl and twice as strong as any composite frame. The exterior can be finished to match any color Sherwin-Williams offers, and we have 27% more glass area, so you don't lose near the visibility you do with other window brands. We also offer 100% financing to fit almost any budget. If you call now for your free estimate, I'm offering a 20% discount on your complete window and door project. Of course, your price is good for 30 days, so you have time to think it over or shop around. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095, or visit us online at statewide-remodeling.com.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret that credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're debt relief advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-791-6811. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-791-6811. That's 1-800-791-6811. 1-800-791-6811.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-454-8621.
U.S. Tax Shield. Hoorah. Yes.
800-454-8621. 800-454-8621.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
Rachel Dolezal says she was drawing self-portraits with the brown crayon instead of the peach crayon when she was 5 years old. She said that on NBC Today. I identify as black. Yep. I certainly don't stay out of the sun. Yeah. Albert Wilkinson is my dad. Any man can be a father. Not every man can be a dad. Right. Let me get to Lita in Grand Prairie. Lita, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Thank you. I always like to come to the Wells Report. JD, I don't get it anymore, okay? She's not black. She can't be black. It's not in her DNA.
Right.
Why these people always gotta lie all the time? It's really getting to be too much.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how old you are.
65. I ain't saying.
You're 65?
Yes, sir.
Well, you and I have seen the black experience in the United States go from just horrific racism to the zenith of electing Barack Obama, and then in the last 6 years, watch it deteriorate into something so absurd and so stupid
and
ugly as to turn into Rachel Dolezal.
Well, I don't know what it's an immutable fact that she does, immutable.
Right.
Immutable. She is a Caucasian. There's nothing to be ashamed about. And you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking that's why she always wore her hair in a frizz to help do the camouflage thing.
Well, and the thing about it, look, the simple case of the matter is that the way they say it is like if somebody admires the English, they're an Anglophile. If they admire the French, they are a Frenchophile. If she wants to be, an African Americanophile. Okay, that's fine with me. I don't care. That's not the point. But to lie about your racial background is a lie.
A lie.
It's that's all there is to it. And once again, this is something that I hit on about 6 months ago. I don't know whether you were listening to the Wells Report then, but what I said was,
I've been listening to you for years, okay? I searched the radio for you.
Thank you, Lita. The thing about it is, what I'm saying is that I don't know that there's a piece of leftist political agenda that could exist without dishonesty. And I think that Rachel Dolezal is just the latest example of it.
Well,
but look at what she does to the black experience in the United States. She renders it as a choice. It's not a choice.
And then you don't need the NAACP no more.
You don't need it.
Period.
You don't need affirmative action. You don't need anything having to do with lifting the American black people up. You don't have to have anything because it's a choice. All of us are black. And look, part of that is where we're eventually going anyway. People are people. And you've heard me talk about the fact that we are being run around like idiots by politicians, and what we really need to do is we really need to start standing together and start voting these people out of office.
Well, I'm game for that.
Well, if we don't do something to stop this ridiculous division, and if we don't do something to say, okay, look, we need to re-inject reality into American life, how you feel, okay, that's your issue, right? But who you are isn't. The simple case of the matter is you are who you are, and you need to start working on that. And boy, does Rachel Dolezal have a lot of work to do. It's infuriating that she would try to steal someone's black life. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at USMD Prostate Cancer Center. You know, cancer is challenging enough without having to head all over town for a test over here, a doctor's appointment over there, maybe something else across town, some other direction. At USMD Prostate Cancer Center, you're going to one place. And there's one website, 888prostate.com, one phone number, 1-888-PROSTATE, and one team of doctors, specialists, patient navigators, all committed to making sure that prostate cancer is put behind you so that you can live a long and healthy life. USMD Prostate Cancer Center, the message begins with testing. Every guy needs to get tested, started with that 40th birthday, and after that, clean test, see you next year. If there's something in there, maybe it's so teeny tiny we look at it for a while. It's active surveillance. Maybe it's cryotherapy time, robotic surgery time. They do it all at USMD Prostate Cancer Center, saving guys' lives one guy at a time. So guys, let's go. 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com. USMD Prostate Cancer Center, 1-888-PROSTATE or 888prostate.com.
Not available in California, Louisiana, and Virginia.
Listeners, do you have startup capital and want to invest in a booming business with incredible profit and growth potential? The opportunity is now because Fresh Healthy Vending, the #1 healthy vending franchise in North America, is looking for a few business-savvy, healthy-minded people right here in the local area to become Fresh Healthy Vending franchise owners. We're growing so fast that we've had hundreds of new franchise owners in the last few years alone. Now you can join them. This area has a huge demand for fresh, healthy, organic snacks on the go, and that's exactly what you'll be selling with your Fresh Healthy Vending machines. We've already identified prime high-traffic locations that are perfect for healthy vending machines. Now we just need the right people to join our franchise network and help Fresh Healthy Vending continue to boom. If this sounds like you, go to readyforfresh.com today and enter code 8000. We'll send you a free owner information kit. Plus, as an added bonus to new franchise owners, sign up today and receive 25% off franchise fees. Just go to readyforfresh.com and enter code 8000. That's readyforfresh.com, code 8000.
Okay, you're on. We're here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools, since that time is getting close. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
Set sail with Newt Gingrich. Get aboard the Elegant Crystal Symphony for a spectacular 7-day cruise from New York to Montreal. At the same time, enjoy stimulating seminars on politics and investment. Our guests include Newt Gingrich, Mark Skousen, John Ransom, and Chris Versace. And everything's included. We set sail September 13th through the 20th. Join us for the Politics in Your Portfolio cruise. Log on to politicsandyourportfolio.com for all the details. Politicsandyourportfolio.com.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Did you pay a lot for that, quote, top-of-the-line mattress, and is it already breaking down and uncomfortable? Time to look into a Sovereign European Sleep System. The Sovereign bed is simply a better bed, made with certified organic cotton and wool and 100% natural latex cushioning, never polyurethane, never memory foam. Custom tailored for greater comfort based on your size, weight, and primary sleeping positions. European quality and components at made-in-America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful, but creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Flo from Progressive here on a road trip with Bob, who owns a dry cleaning service.
Well, it's not really a road trip. We're only going a mile.
In a mile, you can save money on your commercial auto insurance with discounts like Safe Driver, Business Experience, and Paid in Full.
Nice.
So, expert to expert, how would you get a large mustard stain out of white cotton?
Why?
Just planning out our road snacks.
We're only going a mile, Flo.
I can eat a lot of hot dogs in a mile, Bob.
Good point.
Discounts to save your business money. Visit Progressive.com to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. His name is Mark Davis. Mark, what have you got planned for us tomorrow on what's going to be a stormy Wednesday morning in North Texas?
Hey, JD, good Tuesday evening. Want everybody to know tomorrow morning as we convene 7 to 10 a.m., first thing we're going to do is make sure that everybody's taken care of in terms of weather information. We will guide you through a rainy Wednesday morning. Now, in this year of changing identities, I think I'm going to move forward as an Eskimo bricklayer in the Aleutian Islands. Okay, maybe not. I'll remain your talk show buddy, ready to roll in reaction to the Trump announcement. Don't laugh. Yes, it's a sideshow, but its ripples could affect the race. This and other overnight news ready to go tomorrow morning, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
The Supreme Court of the land is going to take some step, at least, in settling the future of same-sex marriage. There are other things that they are going to be dealing with, but the same-sex marriage issue is a decision likely to come on the term's last day, possibly June 29th or 30th. The court will decide whether gays and lesbians have a constitutional right to marry or whether the state bans against same-sex marriage can stay in place. My problem with all of this is there is no ban against same-sex marriage. The law is a definition of what marriage is in a given state, voted on by the people of that state, consistently voted on by people in that state, and set aside consistently by politicians and judges. The erosion of American faith in the government at virtually every level is painful to see and is beginning to reach critical mass. There are problems with this entire circumstance. Marriage is religious. Congress shall make no law. Neither can the Supreme Court. They simply cannot make a decision about what's in the Bible regarding marriage. Gay people in the United States indeed do not have a right, a constitutional right to marriage, because the Constitution holds absolutely no sway over matters of religion by virtue of its inception. The Constitution has no standing where marriage is concerned. Marriage in the United States also has a societal component, a civil union. It is a secular uniting of people in a legal sense. Nothing can stop same-sex civil unions. Nothing. Going to the courthouse and being united, the only thing that stands in the way is a particular judge's viewpoint about whether or not he wants to have anything to do with a same-gender civil union. And I have to say that he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. But as I say, this entire issue regarding marriage in the Supreme Court is reaching critical mass. Listen to this. The president of the Southern Baptist Convention has a message regarding the looming Supreme Court decision on same-sex marriage. We will not obey. The Southern Baptist Convention. The Supreme Court of the United States is not the final authority, nor is the culture itself, declared Ronnie Floyd, the elected leader of the nation's largest Protestant denomination. The Bible is God's final authority about marriage, and on this book we stand. Dr. Floyd's powerful and provocative comments were met with thunderous applause and standing ovations from thousands of Southern Baptist messengers meeting in Columbus, Ohio. While some evangelicals may be bowing down to the deception of the inclusiveness of same-sex marriage, we will not bow down, nor will we be silent, Floyd declared in a fiery speech. We do not need to redefine what God himself has defined already. It's in the Bible. What will the punishment be against the Southern Baptist Convention? What will it be? How can that be anything except a quashing of religious freedom in the United States, something that is completely and purely protected by the founding documents of this nation? I don't care if you're Southern Baptist or not. But I will tell you this. This government will not persecute the Southern Baptists and be met with my silence. Ron in Dallas, Texas, welcome to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Thank you, JD. I don't think the Supreme Court or any other court or judge has a right to say whether or not something that is religious is going to be viewed and reviewed and made legal by them. I think back when Obama, I think it was the second time he was inducted.
You mean elected?
Elected. Well, his swearing in, they had a gay Episcopal priest give the prayer. To me, that right there started a whole big ball of wax that's been rolling ever since.
Well, it was more than that. You know, I was Episcopal. I was confirmed in 1970. And when Bishop Gene Robinson was consecrated, I was finished with the church. It's not because I was against gay anyone. It was the church turned away from the Bible. It's a Bible-based religion. Turning away from the Bible makes it something that it isn't, that I have no interest in. It makes it a non-denominational gathering of people discussing things or celebrating everything that is religious except for accountability. And I was done. I'm Catholic. And happily so. I should have been Catholic my whole life. I didn't know any better. You know, if people would study that church and actually learn about it, it's an amazing church. But the Episcopal Church of the United States is less than half the church it was when I was a member. Because it became a leftist political hybrid of religion and politics. Sorry. It's not why I don't worship politics. I worship God. In doing so, I use the Word of God. The Word of God is clear about marriage. I may be Catholic, but I stand with Southern Baptists on this one. Dr. Floyd reminded the gathering of something German theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer once said: silence in the face of evil is itself evil. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. This is a Bonhoeffer moment for every pastor in the United States, said Floyd. The pending decision over gay marriage weighed heavily on the minds of many Southern Baptists, and messengers will consider it a resolution calling on all Christians to stand firm on the biblical definition of marriage. We must. We simply must. Otherwise, perhaps you are in the wrong religion. I'm not saying that if you don't stand for the biblical definition of marriage that you can't be a Christian. I'm saying that if you don't stand for the biblical definition of marriage, it's very likely that you aren't a Christian, which is okay. Resolved that Southern Baptists recognize that no governing institution has the authority to negate or usurp God's definition of marriage. And be it further resolved, no matter how the Supreme Court rules, the Southern Baptist Convention reaffirms its unwavering commitment to its doctrinal and public beliefs concerning marriage. That is a line in biblical sand. Those of us who disagree with so-called gay marriage are not the enemy. We are standing for something beyond whatever feels good at the moment. We're standing up for an institution that is greater than all of us. A growing number of Christians have already faced persecution because of their objections to gay marriage. Public workers have lost their jobs. Private business owners have been slapped with lawsuits and complaints, and private citizens have been bullied or harassed. It is anti-Christian persecution. Dr. Floyd has said this: I declare to everyone today, as a minister of the gospel, I will not officiate over any same-sex unions or same-sex marriage ceremonies. I completely refuse. He stood resolute, ready to face what he is sure will be national attacks from intolerant bullies and the radical speech police. There is no doubt that he will be called a homophobic bigot, but I'm sure someone will label his remarks as hate speech as well. I assure you, and I urge you to ignore them and truly listen to this brave man of God's words. His call to love and respect those who do not agree with us. And while we affirm our love for all people, including those struggling with same-sex attraction, we cannot and will not affirm any behavior that deviates from God's design for marriage. The Supreme Court of the United States is opening the door for those of us who revel in the First Amendment's guarantee of religious freedom. What you are doing is you are forcing us to choose between God and our government. The founding fathers, our founders, our framers of the Constitution, realized this was not a choice that should be foisted on Americans, and yet here it is. This is something that we simply must not countenance. We have to stand for our country, and we have to stand for that Constitution, and we are consistently being bombarded with opportunities to not do so. We must turn away from that serious mistake. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. I have helped them help so many of you with blade-free HD intra LASIK and ditching the glasses and the contacts and all kinds of good things to help you see better and live better. And now my friends at Climate Evangelista come at you with help with something I'd never heard before. DLS, dysfunctional lens syndrome. What is it? If you're over 40, got some minor glare in your vision that you didn't used to have, maybe poor near vision without your reading glasses, particularly in low light conditions, that may be DLS, dysfunctional lens syndrome. Get screened in Arlington or Plano at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Call for details at 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020. Following the DLS treatment that Climate Evangelista Eye Center has, patients have reported a bunch of benefits: reduced dependency on reading glasses, bifocals, improved night vision, improved reading, better computer vision, all from Climate Evangelista Eye Center. So call them at 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020.
Have you been holding out for a good deal to replace your old AC system? Well, now there's a new program that's too good to pass up. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You've probably already heard that you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system with Carrier's Cool Cash, but did you know that for a limited time, you can also get an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider? That's right. And when you combine these two programs, we're talking saving over $4,500 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. But the utility funds are limited, and the program will end when the money runs out. So right now, we're scheduling free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. Call us now, or if you want, call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about making this the summer of you doing better in the stock market? How does that happen? First step is you show up at the New Venture on Wall Street seminars. They're June 19th and 20th in Addison and Fort Worth. Both locations taken care of, and they'll take care of you at nvows.com. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Pastor David Mitchell's operation, where he imparts wisdom, strategies, some simple things you can do. They taught me how to get in there and just do some things and not others. Timing is everything. When to buy, when to sell, what to do, what not to do. Get a second income stream, maybe retire earlier. It is fantastic wisdom. The seminars are great. They're fun. They're upbeat. And they're coming up June 19th and 20th in Addison and in Fort Worth. Following weekend in Tyler. To get all the information you need, go to 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. NVOWS.com. New venture on Wall Street. Do better in the stock market this summer and for the rest of your life. NVOWS.com. 877-907-TRADE.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, on cholesterol medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $22 a month.
Call 1-800-919-8949 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-919-8949. 1-800-919-8949. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what ViaScan of Las Colinas is all about. ViaScan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it. All the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be ViaScan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google ViaScan.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. On the other side of the coin, Mike Lee, who is the senator from the state of Utah, strongly suggested the U.S. Supreme Court is likely to approve same-sex marriage this month. He warned last week that liberals will use the victory to impose other restrictions on those opposed to gay weddings, including churches, colleges, and military chaplains. They seem tempted by the intolerant impulse to punish Americans. He said he was drafting to protect religious-affiliated schools and institutions that don't support same-sex marriage from federal attack if the court approves the ceremonies. President Obama's top lawyer told the court the institutions might be targeted if the court makes gay marriage constitutional, and that could threaten the tax status of over 25,000 colleges and schools. Are you seeing the incredible palette of destructive conduct that's going to go if the Supreme Court rules in favor of this so-called gay marriage? How many of these gay marriages are going to actually occur? For that, we give up the First Amendment of the Constitution and trust in the highest court in the land? Are we risking open rebellion? How much is this worth? This is the Wells Report.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than a year, you've heard me talk about our incredible investments backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. Well, listen closely. For a very limited time, we have a short-term investment which pays a flat 9% return for a very short-term commitment. $100,000 at 9% return will earn you $9,000. That's right, a 9% return for a short-term investment. It would take you 12 years to earn that much with a CD, and your money is backed dollar for dollar. In my 35 years of financial planning, I've rarely seen a better opportunity for security-minded people. Many of you have money sitting in banks and insurance companies. That money is going nowhere fast. Others of you are concerned about the volatility of the stock market or a long-term commitment. You can change all that. Great returns and peace of mind for a short-term commitment. Don't be left out. Now is the time to call me at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
At Kubota, value means getting more than you expected for less than you thought. Like the L2501 DT compact tractor. Now with financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years and factory rebates, you can do more for less. That's value. That's Kubota. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 60 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation USA. Subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Baltus Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Steve Rappaport. Tropical storm Bill battering Texas, up to a foot of rain expected in some areas.
The moisture from this system extends well up north, up through Oklahoma and Missouri and Arkansas, and then on to the east. The storm itself is going to follow that sort of path up Interstate 35 through Texas and then eventually into Oklahoma tomorrow night.
Patrick Burke with the National Weather Service. Donald Trump dives in.
Our country needs a truly great leader. And we need a truly great leader now.
The reality TV star and real estate mogul kicking off his presidential campaign.
Before his announcement, the Real Clear Politics Averager polls showed him at 3.6%, ninth among the leading Republican contenders.
Fox's Eric Shawn, and an Army veteran who jumped a White House fence and entered the executive mansion, sentenced to 17 months in prison. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Dennis Prager can simplify the struggle in the Middle East.
One side wants the other side dead, and that's the issue. That's the whole issue in the Middle East. Been the issue since 1948. The Arab side, the Muslim side wants the Jewish state annihilated. The Iranians state it, and so do many in the Arab world.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Greg Thornbury of the King's College in New York for townhall.com. The recent disclosure that computer hackers from China have hacked the system of the federal government and may have obtained personnel data on all 2.1 million federal employees provides us a valuable lesson. Remember, this is the government that wants to control our health care, and this is the government that's responsible for Amtrak and the U.S. Postal Service. Over the last 44 years, Amtrak has received a whopping $45 billion in subsidies from the federal government. You heard that right, 45.
Checking 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Yes, 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Well, that didn't take a whole lot of time. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to discuss the curious presidential run of one Donald Trump. Yes, the Donald is going after the presidency in 2016. Who should his George Stephanopoulos asked who his vice presidential pick would be. George Stephanopoulos asked, who might his vice presidential choice be? You won't believe his answer. I know I didn't. We'll discuss it next time on the Wells Report. Or should I mention Oprah? Okay. Okay.
On your home. So if you're ready to see the window that sets the standard in Texas, give us a call. And if you decide it's the one for you, receive 20% off the complete job. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095. Or check us out online 24/7 at statewide-remodeling.com.
How are we supposed to balance the budget when our appliances keep breaking down? Last month, it was the air conditioner. Before that, the refrigerator. What's it going to be next month?
It's hard enough these days trying to keep a balanced household budget. It's even harder when a home appliance or system breaks down unexpectedly. The repair bill could set you back months. But buying a home warranty from American Home Shield helps protect your budget against those unexpected costs because they help pay covered repairs for you. Your air conditioner, plumbing, oven, refrigerator, water heater, and more. For helpful free.
1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Yesterday, the Donald Trump decided to run for president in 2016. Today, George Stephanopoulos asked who might his vice presidential candidate be. He said Oprah Winfrey. In fact, Donald Trump said Oprah and he would win pretty easily as far as he was concerned. Is that good news for voters looking for an alternative? Or is that the shortest run for president anybody ever saw? Or is that the shortest run for president anybody ever saw? We'll discuss it next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis, thank you so much for this opportunity to drop by and say hello to people on the Mark Davis Show let me try this again. Mark Davis, thanks very much for this opportunity to drop by and tell people what's coming up on the Wells Report later on this evening. So Donald Trump declared for the presidency yesterday. George Stephanopoulos asked, what about his vice presidential choice? Without batting an eye, Donald Trump said, I've always really liked Oprah Winfrey. I think that she and I would win very easily. So is that fantastic for those people who believe that an alternative idea for president is a good thing? Or is that going to be the shortest run? Or is that going to be the shortest run for president anybody ever saw? We'll discuss it next time on the Wells Report.
Sizzles. A summer feeding makes roots stronger, so they resist summer stress better. Blooms last longer too. Remember, don't just water your plants. They need to eat in the heat. Skip the fried eggs, but don't skip the summer feeding. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. The American government at one point in our lives was the envy of the world. And for those of you who do not know, by the way, the Golden State Warriors have just become NBA champions. They defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was 105-97. All right. And they are hoisting the trophy even as we speak. Did Steph Curry get the MVP? We don't know yet. There was a concern that maybe Steph Curry would not get the MVP in favor of LeBron James, who could not have done any more work. I think he ran out of gas with 2 games left. And you can't ask anything more of LeBron James. What an amazing effort. Anyway, at one point, the American government was the envy of the world. It may still be. We're too close to it to be able to look at it now and in an objective, pragmatic sense, be able to say whether that's true or not. Many of us who are of the right side of the American political spectrum would say, under no circumstances is the American government anywhere close to being as respected as it used to be. But our politics may be betraying us there. I would expect that if you really nailed a lot of people in other governments around the world down, they would say that, yes, from time to time, the American government makes strange jogs in odd directions, but all in all, the American government is still the envy of the world. But I will tell you that we have new limitations for our belief in our institutions of government. America's confidence in each of the 3 branches of U.S. government remains low. Confidence in Congress and the Supreme Court are now near their all-time lows reached last year. In 1991, 72% of us approved of the job being done by the president. Now, 32% of us approve. Slightly more than half of the approval ratings in the United States presidency are gone. The U.S. Supreme Court in 1991 enjoyed 48% approval. Now it's 33%. The Congress, both the House of Representatives and the United States Senate, in 1991 enjoyed a 30% approval rating. Not great, but it's a hell of a lot better than the 8% they have now. Levels of confidence in the 3 branches of government. This, according to Gallup polling, while Congress has consistently received the lowest confidence rating in the three branches of government, the Supreme Court and the presidency usually track each other pretty closely. This is apart from times when the incumbent president has been extremely popular, as in 1991 and 2002, or exceptionally unpopular, as in 2007 and 2008. Gallup's June 2nd through 7th poll found confidence in the presidency rising slightly to 33% from 29% last year, which was in turn just 4 percentage points above the historic low of 25% in 2007. Meanwhile, ratings of the Supreme Court and Congress, which had dropped to record lows in 2014, have barely moved. If indeed the Supreme Court of the United States rules as we have been discussing in the last 42 minutes or so, that number will drop dramatically. We already have people saying that they're not going to abide this decision. The Pandora's box of pain and misery that will occur if indeed the Supreme Court of the United States sees fit to approve gay marriage in their turning aside of definition of marriage laws. The pain may be incalculable. But what will end up happening is that we will have seen the logical conclusion of a willingness of a super legislature in the form of appeals courts in the United States turning aside the will of the people for the sake of what in most cases is a flawed idea of what the Constitution says and what it means. Then watch where these approval numbers go. Gallup polling then tries to put a bit of makeup on this pig, a little bit of lipstick, if you will, by saying average confidence in the three branches is low but has been lower. Is that supposed to make us feel better? The average confidence rating for the three branches of government is 24%. Lower than most previous averages since 1991 and well below the high of 50% that year. And then Gallup, trying to, again, apply more lipstick to this pig, says the average confidence ratings for the three branches of government has been lower, including in 2008 when it was 23% and 2014 when it was 22%. American confidence in two of the three institutions that make up their U.S. government, the Congress and the Supreme Court, remain near their all-time lows reached in 2014. Confidence with the presidency, although low, is up marginally compared with last year. For Congress, low confidence in the institution is nothing new to members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, who have also seen low job approval ratings in recent years. Individual members are not as interested in Americans' collective. Let me try this one more time in English. Individual members are not as interested in Americans' collective opinions as they are in the views of the voters they have to appeal to back home. But the public's extremely low confidence no doubt weighs on Congress at some level. The Supreme Court, meanwhile, is not directly accountable to the public and often defies political opinion completely. Although its unelected members serve indefinite terms, confidence in the court is not susceptible to a drop in confidence when that drop in confidence is applied to government as a whole. This is bad for our country. It is bad for our country in that we have seen and had to suffer through what is essentially a dysfunctional government. It was not necessary that it become dysfunctional. It wasn't. But the political powers that be seem to be able to exert the pressures necessary, some of them through simple fascist intimidation, to get everybody on the same wavelength. And it isn't an American wavelength, it's a political one. To see the approval ratings from we the people to our government is unbelievably sad. All of that is a way to bring instability into this great nation. Instability that is not just unnecessary, but it is destructive as well. Destructive. I remember talking with Congressman Michael Burgess. Congressman Burgess is truly a public servant. He truly gets why he does what he does. And when the approval ratings of Congress, when those ratings were brought up, it hurt him dramatically to see this Congress thought of so poorly by we the people of the United States. He felt it in his shoulders and in his heart. But in the hands of the Supreme Court are issues that will quite likely determine a great deal about our nation's future. We will gladly parse through them and bring you what we think we know. We'll do that. I hope the news isn't as awful as I think it might be. We'll have more about this coming up in just a little bit here on 660 AM The Answer. The Supreme Court of the United States cannot have an approval rating this low. It's bad for the country. I don't know what we do to fix it because those people are not beholden to us in any way, shape, or form. I guess the only thing we can do is use this bully pulpit to say, stop what you are doing. Stop. If you can't rule in favor of the Constitution of the United States, then for crying out loud, recuse yourselves. This is the Wells Report.
In 2002, a National Sleep Foundation poll found that 63% of women experience symptoms of insomnia at least a few nights per week. In my opinion, a major reason for insomnia is the Blue Card. It's a shopping and loyalty card, and it's free. That's right, free. No charge, nada. Next, you can receive up to 5% cash back on purchases. Most cards only offer 2% at most. No wonder girls can't sleep. With the Blue Card, you can also get shopping points that you could use for online purchases. So it's cash back and shopping points. Am I keeping you awake? If you refer the Blue Card to someone, you could even earn money on their purchases. No, I'm serious. It's true. But it gets better. If you share the Blue Card with a merchant, you could earn on the purchases of everyone who uses the Blue Card at their store, too. There's no way you're going to get any sleep until you get your own free Blue Card.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Today, let's talk about the $29 service call gimmick. Here in North Texas, an experienced service tech costs at least $35 an hour to employ. So how does a $29 service call work? Well, it doesn't unless they find a bunch of stuff wrong with your system. It's just bait to get you to call. We can't come out for $29, and really, neither can they. In this business, you get what you pay for. Reliant Air Conditioning service call is $79, and our guys are all drug tested, background checked, and they don't work on commission. So if you need service on your AC system, call the company that's been gimmick-free since '83. Or if your system needs to be replaced, you can save up to $3,500 per system with Carrier's Cool Cash promotion. Our number is 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Do you panic every time the phone rings? Do you dread opening the mail? Are you scared to see who is at the front door? One phone call to the experts at Rush Tax Resolution can put an end to your nightmare. If you owe $10,000 or more in personal or business taxes, have unfiled returns, received an audit notice, or have been threatened with a levy or garnishment, chances are your tax problem has been costing you a lot of sleep. Call 877-554-RUSH to get effective and reputable help today. Rush Tax Resolution has federally licensed tax experts with unrestricted rights to represent and defend you before the IRS. They will hold your hand through the process and get you a permanent solution to your tax problem. You may even have up to 85% of your taxes forgiven. And if you're not sure what the IRS has in your file, call today and receive a free transcript analysis. Call now. 877-554-RUSH. That's 877-554-RUSH. Or log on to rushtaxresolution.com. 877-554-7874.
Save this day, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th at 6:30 could be the day and time that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investments. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service. They know you've worked hard for your money. Getting the information you need to help you choose how to invest it is the next step. To reserve your spot for this free seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas, call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or register by logging on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
It's the end of quarter clearance sale at Lumber Liquidators. We're North America's largest specialty retailer of hardwood flooring, and we've got 10 million square feet of top quality floors for as much as 77% less than other stores. Get over 200 styles of real pre-finished hardwood from just 49 cents, 40 styles of beautiful bamboo from $159, plus deals on popular American and European laminates and more from an incredible 39 cents. And pay no interest until 2017. Hurry, clearance sales going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Our sister station.
94.9 KLTY and Interstate Batteries present Celebrate Freedom 25, Saturday, June 27th at South Fork Ranch. Since this is our 25th anniversary of the largest outdoor Christian concert in America, we're bringing in the artists that you love, like Stephen Curtis Chapman, Toby Mac, Third Day, Carrie Job, and many, many more. You've made so many memories over the years at Celebrate Freedom. Get ready to make some more with us. Sponsored by Dallas Baptist University, Winco Foods, City of Southlake, and Quick Car.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The Supreme Court of the land and the federal judiciary was envisioned as being apolitical. It is anything but. We rely on the ethics and the integrity of judges in the federal system to adjudicate the law rather than to create new law on the pretext of old law. It seems to me that the Constitution of the United States is being let down by the framers' successors. And the argument can reign as to what it is that, whether the framers made a mistake or whether the framers were confounded by political ambition. But there can be no doubt about the fact that this enduring form of government is being strained to the breaking point by politics in the judiciary. As I have said time and time again, That power that you abuse will indeed be taken from you. It may take a while, but it will be taken from you. The mess of the IRS that we discussed earlier will probably lead to a flat tax system that will likely put 80% of IRS workers on the street without a job. And the reason that this is going to happen is strictly because they abuse their power. So they are going to be the IRS. It's a matter of time before they are rendered inert. And that should happen forthwith. The Supreme Court of the United States has no business passing judgment on something that is found and defined in the Bible. And if they do, they violate what the framers had intended the entire time. The interesting thing about this is that the only real decision left is whether or not this was just a coincidence that the United States, the government of the United States, and the country that it serves would be destroyed by a handful of gay people trying to get married. Or was that the ultimate purpose all along, seeing that most places that are keen to embrace homosexual life reduce their membership by 50%? Again, politics needs division. How could there be a greater one than where we stand today? This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Hello, this is Bob Guess. For more than a year, you've heard me talk about our incredible investments backed by hard assets dollar for dollar. Well, listen closely. For a very limited time, we have a short-term investment which pays a flat 9% return for a very short-term commitment. $100,000 at 9% return will earn you $9,000. That's right, a 9% return for a short-term investment. It would take you 12 years to earn that much with a CD, and your money is backed dollar for dollar. In my 35 years of financial planning, I've rarely seen a better opportunity for security-minded people. Many of you have money sitting in banks and insurance companies. That money is going nowhere fast. Others of you are concerned about the volatility of the stock market or a long-term commitment. You can change all that. Great returns and peace of mind for a short-term commitment. Don't be left out. Now is the time to call me at 972-570-4444. That's 570-4444.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 855-875-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fix at 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket, but you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 855-875-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Set sail with Newt Gingrich. Get aboard the Elegant Crystal Symphony for a spectacular 7-day cruise from New York to Montreal. At the same time, enjoy stimulating seminars on politics and investment. Our guests include Newt Gingrich, Mark Skousen, John Ransom, and Chris Versace. And everything's included. We set sail September 13th through the 20th. Join us for the Politics in Your Portfolio cruise. Log on to politicsandyourportfolio.com for all the details. Politicsandyourportfolio.com.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis will arrive tomorrow on a rainy Wednesday morning as Bill comes a-calling. Let's find out what he's got planned for us tomorrow on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, JD, good Tuesday evening. Want everybody to know tomorrow morning as we convene 7 to 10 a.m., first thing we're going to do is make sure that everybody's taken care of in terms of weather information. We will guide you through a rainy Wednesday morning. Now, in this year of changing identities, I think I'm going to move forward as an Eskimo bricklayer in the Aleutian Islands. Okay, maybe not. I'll remain your talk show buddy, ready to roll in reaction to the Trump announcement. Don't laugh. Yes, it's a sideshow, but its ripples could affect the race. This and other overnight news, ready to go tomorrow morning, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Thanks very much, Mark. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, is warning the United States that the U.S. debt picture has worsened dramatically. This from the Washington Examiner. The CBO is talking about the government's long-term mismatch between spending and revenues. The long-term outlook for the federal budget has worsened dramatically over the past several years in the wake of the 2007-2009 recession and slow recovery. This according to the CBO. The Budget Office, a nonpartisan in-house think tank for Congress, projected the federal debt is set to rise from 74% of national economic output to 103% by 2040, driven by spending in government health care and retirement programs with interest on the debt. The projection issued today, which is subject to significant uncertainty, is a slight improvement from last year, when the Budget Office estimated the debt would hit 106% by 2039. The outlook has gotten brighter, if only trivially, because the financial markets now expect lower interest rates in the future, which will lower the cost of servicing the debt for the Treasury. The Budget Office warned that debt would still be growing in 2014. It could also be nearly twice as large by 2014 as the baseline estimate, if a more realistic guess about how Congress will act in the years ahead, and the economic feedback from higher debt placing a drag on economic growth is taken into account. This is bad news. We all know that the debt is bad. But it's bad. Although the long-term budget picture is dark thanks to the anticipated costs of the baby boomers as they retire, the federal debt is anticipated to decline for the next few years, thanks partly to spending cuts and tax increases imposed by Congress in recent years. The only thing that I can say is that the real problem are these Democrat entitlements. And that is something that we need to do away with. The problem with it is how are people going to pay me for the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've put into my Social Security account? Do I just have to kiss all that money goodbye for the sake of the national debt? Under current law, all other government programs would feel the pinch. Spending on items that, other than entitlements and interest payments, would drop from an 11.6 GDP to 6.9%, which is good. Spending on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, Obamacare, subsidies, and other health care programs will rise from 6.5% of gross domestic product to 14.2% of gross domestic product by 2040. The run-up in debt will come as revenues rise gradually to 19.4% of output, about the 17.4% long-run average. Taxes receipts will go up mostly because income is expected to grow faster than inflation for most people, pushing them into higher tax brackets. This report is the first long-run budget estimate released by the Budget Office under new director Keith Hall, who was appointed by Republicans in the spring. All I can hope is that we can get absolute truth, and that's not really simple. Not at all. Do you have any idea what the national debt is today? $18,112,975,000,000. $18,112,975,000,000. The portion of the federal debt that is subject to a legal limit set by Congress closed Thursday, June 11th, at $18,112,975,000,000, according to the latest Treasury Department statement. That, according to the Treasury statements, makes 90 straight days. The debt subject to the limit has been frozen at $18,112,975,000,000. So the interesting thing about this is that for the last 90 days, the Treasury has had the same debt. For 90 days. That's not possible. So what's happening? It's being kept artificially low is what's happening. Why is it being kept artificially low? Well, for politics reasons, of course, reasons of politics. The simple case of all of this is what we really need to do is we need to start hanging over those guys' shoulders. It's hard to keep doing it because we've been doing it now for 6 years. I think what we're going to see here is we're just going to see this debt picture, get worse and worse and worse until President Obama leaves office. And it does bother me that this debt picture has worsened dramatically. But then again, once again, you got to keep in mind that indeed what you are not humble enough to be able to accept as fact, what you are not humble enough to be able to say, that's not why I'm here. Therefore, I'm not going to vote for any more spending that is not paid for. Until we have more people like that, until we can get rid of those people who believe that the way to political primacy is to bankrupt the nation, then we'll have a fighting chance to be able to fix all this. But we are not anywhere close to any of that. Everybody says, oh my God, it's the evil Democrats. Yeah, well, the Republicans are there too. We don't have two parties that are scrapping on a constant basis. We have a good old boy network that says, okay, we'll give you a victory if you give us a victory, if we give you a victory, blah, 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 blah. After the session, go and make this deal so that you can have more money than you can possibly dream of. And before you know it, you're not doing the people's business at all. You're doing whatever business is necessary to be able to insulate yourself from the realities that you were foisting on us. And not just us, but our children and their children. And so all this spending, all of it a Democrat show, coming home to roost. And so the Examiner of Washington, D.C. says, well, the U.S. debt picture has worsened dramatically. We're going to have to do something about a balanced budget amendment. We're going to have to do something about a spending cap, a limit. We're going to have to do something about that. And we're going to have to do it quickly. I don't know again. I don't know again what anybody's getting out of this. I can't imagine spending $18.5 trillion and not knowing anybody that benefited from that incredible money. Did you get any of it? I didn't get any of it. Do you know anybody that got any of it? Where did it all go? The people who are going to be dramatically affected by this are people in my age group. We're in our 50s. And we have our choice to be able to take our piece of this debt. Or not. I mean, I really need my tax return. I need my Social Security money. But I don't know how I can keep a healthy country if I get it. This is not a quandary I should have to face. And I didn't have anything to do with it. This was all done in the 1930s by FDR. This multi-generational Ponzi scheme, it's not really a Ponzi scheme, but it's the closest there is. It now threatens to bankrupt the nation. And if that's not what's going to do it, Obamacare is going to do it. And as far as I'm concerned, none of this money, none of this should be a government project. Because if it's a government project, then what goes with government projects? Lying. It's an absolute necessity. If you're going to keep the leftist agenda going, you're going to have to lie about it. And lie and lie. January 20th, 2017 will be the last day of the Obama administration. Before that day, we will know who the successor of this president will be. We will also know the fate of the nation. Shortly after Election Day and shortly before that office is taken. This looks like a job for prayer man. Don't you agree? This is the Wells Report.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644. Or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
What's the best way to bring people together?
T-shirts!
T-shirts. Custom T-shirts that you design online with custom ink. The fun, easy way to make shirts you'll love for your group or occasion. Custom Ink has created over 50 million shirts for families, teams, reunions, church groups, cheerleaders, companies big and small. So go online and see how easy it is to design your own shirts with Custom Ink's online design lab. Our website has tons of fonts and amazing artwork. And our team of professional inkers will make sure your shirts turn out perfectly. Order one shirt or thousands. On-time delivery is guaranteed, and we'll even ship your order absolutely free.
Start designing your custom ink t-shirts today and see why 99% of our customers say they would order from us again. Visit customink.com.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about if we make this the summer of you doing better on Wall Street? How do we do that? We get you into the upcoming seminars for New Venture on Wall Street, NVOWS.com. We have an Addison location and a Fort Worth location for the seminar weekend, the 19th and 20th of June. Weekend after that in Tyler. Learn more at NVOWS.com or a phone number I'll give you here in a second. It's a 2-day event. It's live. It's not a webinar. It's real people. It's great. It's upbeat. It's fun. And you'll leave this course confident in your ability to trade stocks better with more wisdom. And New Venture is going to coach you along the way. It's not just seminar and then, see ya, have a nice life. Nope, they're going to stay with you, helping you along the way to make sure that you have kept in your head the stuff they've taught you. It'll enable you to retire earlier, get a second income stream, things we all want to do. So let me get you into these seminars at 877-907-TRADE, 877-907-TRADE, Addison and Fort Worth, 19th and 20th of June, Tyler the weekend after, 877-907-TRADE.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-507-2955. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-507-2955. That's 1-800-507-2955. 1-800-507-2955.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
You went to the dentist and he said you have to have a root canal and a crown. That's going to eat up almost $3,000. You could get it all for around $1,600. That's almost 50% less because you're a member of RealMedSavings.com. What is Real Med Savings? It's a membership like a discount club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. You save money because we've already negotiated the discounts. RealMedSavings.com costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. But Real Med Savings is not just for dental. It's doctor's consultations, vision, prescription drugs, and more. There's no long-term commitment and no salesman is going to call. Cancel anytime. Save real money on healthcare you need and use for everyday medical problems. Real medical savings for your entire family. RealMedSavings.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I don't know what's happening in Japan, but if you're interested in knowing that there may be just as many court problems in Japan as there are in the United States, then take heart. According to a court ruling, if a married person pays for sex in Japan, it is not considered adultery. It is rather considered business. The controversial 2014 ruling involved a company president, his wife, and a bar hostess in Japan. The plaintiff claims her husband was sleeping with the bar hostess for nearly 7 years, and she wanted $32,000 compensation for the emotional distress it caused her. Okay. Judge Masamitsu Shiseki of the Tokyo District Court rejected her claim, ruling that paid sex between a plaintiff's husband and the hostess was strictly business. The defendant had sexual relations with her patron only for business, like in the cases of prostitution, and such conduct does not damage peaceful marital life. Which means that judge is in a completely different planet, isn't he? The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. See you again tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report. Bring your life preserver. Save this date, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th at 6:30 could be the day and time that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investments. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service. They know you've worked hard for your money. Getting the information you need to help you choose how to invest it is the next step. To reserve your spot for this free seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas, call 972-463-3833.